Hello everyone and welcome to FTB Feed the Beast. Today is episode number 2 and it's a very special episode because today we're doing a time-lapse build of our new home to start out with in our new FTB series. We're going to build a treehouse in the new jungle biome that we found, and instead of spending a bunch of episodes taking a long time to build it, we figured we'd do an awesome time-lapse because the newer version of Minecraft allows us to do that, whereas we couldn't with Tekkit. So please sit back and enjoy watching our Let's Build. Let me know if you like these kind of videos. We'll do more of them. And without further ado, on with the show. We start off with laying down some framework, which we already started. And you can see some posts and we're putting up some frames. We're laying out the floor. We're going to do a 2-layer deal. And instead of just going straight up, we're going to make them offset a little bit. The point of this treehouse is to kind of have that Swiss Family Robinson feel to it, where it's kind of controlled chaos a little bit. It's not a factory. We're not doing that Tekkit factory thing anymore. This is going to be different. We're putting on the second floor. You can see it pushed off to the side a little bit. Little flight of stairs. We're building it mostly out of logs, and you notice that we're not making everything all one single direction. Things are kind of mixed up a little bit. What's nice is that in the new version of Minecraft, we can put blocks directionally. So we can lay logs down to the side and kind of make it look like it would really look if we had a log frame. You can see Girl Pants putting a bit of a grass leaf roof up over part of our house. And I just built a section of stairs. We're kind of going to go for this, base kind of split up between different trees with paths connecting them, kind of rope bridge style. I mean, you can't really make a rope bridge in Minecraft, but we're going to do our best. You can see a little set of stairs off to another tree off to the side. Got to put some fences up so we don't fall down. There's a slender man kind of just keeping an eye on what we're doing. For windows, most of the places we put fences in the windows to kind of give it that open feel, because there are a few places we put glass panes, but it kind of really makes things claustrophobic, and you really want that open, jungly feel. If you went to a jungle resort somewhere, they're going to have that kind of lattice work in the windows. They're not going to have closed-up, stuffy buildings. It's too warm and humid for that. You want to let the nice breeze roll through the treetops and come right through your house and keep you cool. It's not good for the bugs, but luckily there's no mosquitoes in Minecraft. You can see Girl Pants kind of putting a little bit more effort into that platform off to the side. The plan over there is we're going to make a farm up in the treetops, because wheat, reeds, they all need sunlight to grow, and what better place than on top of the trees. First, we have to finish up our house. We're putting a outdoor section, kind of like a little porch, a patio. So we're having a little bit of an offset 2-layer section, finishing up some windows, closing things up. And now we're back over to the other section where we're building our farm. You can see Girl Pants kind of putting just a standard square structure up there. We're going to fill in some wheat. But this is going to be another offset kind of 2-layer setup. You can see I'm laying down some framework for the second layer. We hadn't really decided exactly what we were going to place where. There's a lot of new things in FTB and Feed the Beast. There's some new plants that we're not really sure about, so we're going to start off with some wheat, keep it simple. We're definitely going to explore some of those other things later on in the series, though. Girl Pants is putting down some water and tilling the soil. Putting up some torches. We don't want monsters spawning up there and trampling all over our good stuff. You can see I'm carefully trying to line things up. I put that little hole block. You'll see what I'm planning in a minute, and I think it came out really well. I really like the effect that it has. But Girl Pants put water lines, obviously, because, the plants need water to grow. And I lined up where the water would be on the second level to be, there it goes, perfectly lined up. So you have a nice waterfall effect, and I think the 2-tiered waterfall is actually a really awesome look. I really like how it came out. You can see I'm trying to line things up again, and there we are. I made a second kind of waterfall. I needed to get water over to that second line. The area that I'm working on right now is going to be reeds, and you know that reeds need to be directly next to a water block to grow. Girl Pants just finished putting seeds all in her tilled soil, so those will start growing soon, nicely. She's putting some finishing touches on some wood down there, and we'll kind of clean that up later. I better put some torches up. There we go. Kind of fence things in a little bit. Even though it's up in the sky, you don't want to really fall off the edge. And there you have it. Nice little farm in the sky. Plenty of sun. We're keeping it watered, and you can see we're putting in some reeds, and those will start to grow real soon. As soon as it becomes daylight, everything will start to grow. It'll be really nice. I think that really came out well. I love that two-tiered waterfall effect. The next thing we decided is to continue with the farming theme. Is really quick. We decided just to make a little pasture because, as someone pointed out in our first video, we really need to eat. And, well, bread and apples, they're okay. You know, you really don't want to be eating any zombie flesh. And, man, I've been really hankering for a nice piece of chicken or maybe even a steak. So you see me laying out some groundwork for fence. First, I kind of cleared an area. It's tough in the jungle because there's all those plants on the ground, those little mini trees. You can see I started with a little gated area, kind of that two-tiered thing, so that when you're trying to lure them in with wheat, you don't let your other animals out when you're trying to get one in. It's kind of a little safety gate. And I finish off just making a little gravel path. One side will be for chickens, one for cows. Now remember I mentioned we wanted to kind of have a spread out, kind of sectional feel to the treehouse. So what we're doing here is Girl Pants and I are making a path over to another tree. It's going to kind of have a thin bridge feel to go from the main building over to another section. And over there we'll either have some alchemy, magic, or maybe it'll be our starting off mechanical things, some macerators or furnaces, kind of our ore production. Not really sure what we're going to put over there. Putting up some fence because it's a very thin bridge. You really don't want to fall down. We're kind of sizing up where we want things to go. We're going to make a decent size but not huge platform over around that tree. And we don't really want to make it, a perfect rectangle. We kind of want to make it a little odd shaped. But we don't want to make it so huge that it offsets our main building either. We don't want to have one huge section. Kind of want to break it up into different areas, but we're still laying out the floor. We're trying to make things look a little different. If you noticed in the main building, it was mostly just the logs, the jungle logs, whereas here we're trying to use some more planks. We did use planks over, you can actually see it over on the right side, for that open platform going up to the farm. But we're going to kind of do a little bit of a mixture over here in the new area. Something wasn't quite perfect on that bridge bit. It didn't seem jungly enough to me. And I was trying to think of how to fix it, how to make it feel a little more overgrown, a little more wild. And I was thinking about that while we were trying to lay out the framework. Girl Pants is putting up some walls. She likes using leaves. You can see I'm kind of sizing things up, and I cheated a little bit and went into creative mode because it was just a little easier than nerd pulling up. But what I really wanted was to put some vines off of that bridge, and that's all I hopped into creative mode for, was to be able to fly and lean off to the side and do those, kind of get a stretched out look from the view we're looking at right now. And hopefully the idea is that those vines will grow down off of that bridge and really give it that kind of natural overgrown look that we were going for. I went back over to help Girl Pants finish up some of the framework. She made some irregular windows out of leaves, which was kind of a nice touch. Keep things a little different. We tried to make things a little different. You can see over on the right, there's one section that has a few window panes in the window, whereas others have the fence. We didn't want to go all one way or all the other. We didn't want every single window to be filled with fence, because then you just have that cluttered look to it. So we're trying to break things up. I think between the two of us, we fell down quite a few times. I think at one point, Girl Pants actually gets blown up by a creeper, but you see I just fell and had to climb back up the tree. I wanted to add a little something extra to this. It still didn't seem quite right, even with the vines, so I fell down again. 2 or 3 times I've fallen over there already. So you can see I'm trying to kind of line things up. And it doesn't really even go anywhere, but I thought it looked kind of nice when I was done. I made a second platform, kind of a second tier almost to the bridge that goes across. It doesn't go all the way to the main building. It kind of has a little offshoot that goes down. You see I put some ladders in. Put a little gate to make sure you don't fall when you're trying to go down the ladder, because it's a pretty steep fall. There are some nice leaves and trees to break your fall, but I still wouldn't want to do it. The bridge doesn't really go anywhere at the moment, except below the building that we're making. But it still kind of gives it a little more complexity and a little more chaos, but in a nice way, I think. You see here, we put some leaves around, and Girl Pants put some window panes inside the leaves, which is kind of a different look that I thought was pretty cool. Something you don't really see very often. We mixed up wood planks and logs for the ceiling, kind of giving it that beam look where, there's some main struts, some main beams holding the building together, but then planks in between. I keep going back and forth, tweaking a few last things over on the bridge. I'm still not sure if it's quite exactly the way we want it, but I think it's pretty good for now. You can see Girl Pants already stretched over to that other tree. We're definitely going to keep this treehouse going, stretched through this forest. And I'm sure before long we'll even outgrow the forest and be making second home somewhere. Girl Pants had the good idea to kind of expand out the leaves that were up on top, because we had kind of destroyed the top of the tree and it just kind of became this bare trunk. So putting some more leaves on top kind of gave it more of a real tree feel. I think she just got killed by a spider down there, by the way. We put some support struts down underneath the building because it was kind of stretching out far, and we thought it needed some extra support coming back to the tree. Gives it another nice little bit of look. And so here we have our final panoramic. You can see our main building with our 2-floor offset little porch. We have our walkway over to where we have our nice reed and wheat farm. And you see I put in that second bit of waterfall falling from that reed farm. And I think that looks really awesome. It's one of my favorite features of the new treehouse. The multi-tiered waterfall effect, I think it came out really nice. Girl Pants wheat has all grown up there. You see, we can go harvest that soon. Come back around the other side. You can see the second tier to our main building. And there's the bridge that we were just working on. And the second building over in that tree. We'll be sure to fill this area up real soon. Swing around this side. You see there's still one wall open. I clipped through a tree a little bit in my path, but that's okay. Some window panes on this side too, just to kind of keep things a little different. And you see where we put the farm? I managed to lure some cows. And I think there's even a couple chickens in there too. Picked up a lot of eggs along the way. And as we pan around one last time, you get the full view of our treehouse. All of its glory. And we'll be sure to expand it. And there it is, completed. Thanks for watching, everyone. Check back real soon for the next episode of Feed the Beast. Tell your friends, like, subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon.